Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. My name is David and this is my channel. Today's video is called Everyone is a Reflection of You. This can certainly be difficult to see because we have a lot of personalities out there. We have a lot of people that seem to be different. They seem to agree on different things. We live in a world of percentages. There's a percentage this will happen or not. We live in a world of people seeming to be different personalities, different ways about them. So there's what I want you to see, and this has been so delightful and such a wonderful understanding in my life, and I want to share it, is that if you take a bunch of separate pieces, let's say you have a lot of different personalities of different people, a room of 40 people, and they're all different, and you align them all with one idea. Let's say you align them with one idea of perfect love, right? You say, well, we're all perfect love. I've heard this story somewhere. We're all perfect love. And I'm going to say that we're all perfect love somehow. Then what's going to happen is each one of those pieces are going to then start showing you, so to speak, what is missing in them or what needs to be added in them, so to speak, in order to equal perfect love. Does that make sense? It's kind of like saying, 50 minus blank equals 30. The ultimate goal is 30, so you have 50, so now you know the other part's 20. Do you see? And this has so helped me because once I started bringing everything back to one source, it started helping me understand what was kind of, so to speak, maybe missing or needed to be added and between those two parts, right? This, okay, put a little here, take a little here, put a little here, take a little here. But we need an ultimate goal, or we need to understand an ultimate idea. So that way we can take the separate pieces. If you do not have that, they will be completely separate because there's nothing to become. Can you understand that? That's kind of the two perspectives. One of them is the perspective of the ego, everything's separate. And the other one is just the perspective of source, of who we really are, that says everything is perfect love somehow, some way. And therefore we can start now looking at things differently in order to equal perfect love or flow or ease or joy. You see? If you look at your life and say, it's joyful, it's supposed to be joyful, complete joy, then you'll start seeing different places in your life where it's not joy. Now, first thing you're going to notice is what needs to change outside of you in order to be joy or perfect love. Well, that person can't be perfect love because they did this, and then because this, and because this. And I can't feel joy because money's not coming here. And there's a feeling of outside changing. We will call that projection. That will get you nowhere because you cannot change something outside of yourself. There is nothing outside of yourself. And that's ultimately what all of this study has to gain an insight. There is nothing outside of you. Everything is coming from within. You created all personalities. You've created each one of those people, how you see them, how they're pertaining to you and your reality. It's all based on your idea of truth. The problem is, potentially, is that there's many different truths out there, so to speak, and they're not all agreeing with you. So this is going to give birth to a lot of confusion for the soul. Now, from my perspective, once I kind of understood this, then I can create a full source of perfect love. And now, instead of trying to change the person or the outside, I'm now trying to change myself and my perspective. I become the center of all the change in my life. And as I do this, based on what ultimately I want, which is perfect love or flow or ease, whatever it is that you decide, as long as it feels good, it matches source, matches who you really are, then now you can move through those different parts of your life and let go of a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, in order to make it into that place. And you're going to get a lot of help from source, because as soon as we include, it's like this saying in the Bible, where two or more are present, you will find me. That idea of finding God, as you put God with both parts of your relationship, you're going to find out what each one, why they're not agreeing with what God agrees with, so to speak. And then if you only take your own perspective of it and change it and move it based on belief systems and definitions that you have given, then now you will see what you have, how you have stifled that relationship, and then now you will set that other part free, and it will come together a little bit. So let's say if you have a relationship, let's look at an example here, and there's a lot of relationships out there that where the two people are not 100% loving each other because of differences, but at the same time they're not leaving each other because they're afraid. Does that make sense? So they feel kind of stuck. Now let's say you look at someone and you say, well, we're all on a spiritual journey here. So let's say you're with someone who's not on that journey, and therefore you see them as someone who's not agreeing with you, not seeing it as you see it. I have personal experience with this, so I kind of understand this perspective. Now, because you have a belief system that they're not on that journey with you, which you really don't know anything about that person because they could be doing things that you don't even know about, but you've created a belief system that says they're not, then now your interpretation of them is going to match that belief. And you're going to see, indeed, what potentially they don't. Now, why is that? Because remember, the belief system says they're not on the journey with you. That's that end-all, be-all I talked about. So because you believe that, regardless of how you interpret it, it's got to interpret it in a way that brings back that reflection to you. Does that make sense? No matter how I interpret it, even I'm going to interpret it some way that's going to solidify and somehow reinforce that that person is not on that journey because that's my belief of them. But that belief might not be true for them. So therefore, I won't see them. Does that make sense? I won't see them as they see themselves. And that's going to cause some issues. And they could be doing that same thing for you, so to speak. Now, if you take a belief system that they are perfect love, and you see only perfect love, then you will interpret them in such a way that to see perfect love, because your interpretation will always match your belief. You understand? The interpretation always matches the belief. This is why the key is to find the belief and let it go. Change your belief, because once you change your belief, you'll change your interpretation. Another way of saying is that if you have a belief that money doesn't like you, or that money is the root of all evil, which is a big one, right? Or money doesn't flow to you, then you will interpret your life and your money and your situations according to that belief, and thereby receiving that back. If you believe money flows to you with ease, and you have a strong belief of that, most of the time because of past experience, you grew up in a household where everybody had money, so therefore it was easy for you, then you will start interpreting money in that way, and you will always have money flowing to you, because your interpretation must match your belief. Now, the tough part is when we're trying to change a belief, not realizing we're the one interpreting it. We believe it's them interpreting it. We can, once again, not even recognize I have that belief that that person is not on this journey, therefore they cannot handle or see the way I see, and therefore I'm continuously interpreting them that way. And not know I have that belief, and therefore say, man, you keep on reinforcing back to me and now I know it's true because you said it, you've done it, and now I believe it to be true. And that is never, ever the case. And this is what will help us in our journey, is that people do not create the beliefs for you. You create the beliefs, and then you interpret it over and over and over, and you will always get back what you interpret. You see, that's why if you look at someone and someone says something that causes a trigger inside you, then now you have interpreted them in such a way that you don't want. You have a belief about them that doesn't really serve you. You don't even know is there. And it's shining back at you to let you know that there's a belief in there about that person. And that's why it's causing you negative emotion. And it's causing you negative emotion because that belief you have about them does not match your source. Your source will always see them as perfect love. You see? Innocent, flowing. And there's a part of you that sees them not that way. And therefore, when it comes back to you, it hits you like a trigger because your inner being doesn't believe. That's the beauty of this, is once you understand that your inner being is there as a guidance, as your guidance system. So therefore, when things come back negatively, or you feel like, oh, I don't like that about them, or I don't agree with them, that's your inner being saying, I don't agree with you. You're seeing them in such a way that I don't agree with. Now, we can say it's what they said, it's what they did, da, da, da. But in reality, it's a belief that you have that is causing you to interpret their words or interpret that situation or circumstance in such a way to always match your belief. How cool is that? You have to really sit with that. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's hard to see, but from my experience, what I've learned is now when I have any negative emotion that doesn't work, I always say, it's never coming from outside. It's never coming from the person. I stop and say, what is the belief that I have? How am I interpreting this person other than perfect love, innocence, flow, other than myself, who I want to be, or other than my source? Do you see? And then you will see, that belief. And trust me, that belief will be going out into many people. And then now that belief is going to be your attraction agent too. So you can believe you're going to keep on attracting them, the same people. So if you have a lot of situations or people in your life that you don't agree with, sit back and say, where's that belief? I want to go look and find that belief, because that belief is causing my interpretation of them, and it's causing my vibration to stay where it is, thereby attracting it over and over and over again. The belief is always the culprit, never the person. I'll say that again. The belief is the culprit, never the person. Someone could say anything to me, and it doesn't matter what they say. They could say that the earth is flat and that my hair is not this color. But yet they can also say other things, and I can agree with what I want to and let go of the rest. I don't push against it. If you're pushing against something, the earth is flat. No, it's not. That earth isn't flat. Where's your belief? Why won't you let them be? Why won't you let them? What is it that's causing that negative emotion? There's got to be a belief in there that is causing you to interpret it in such a way to push against yourself. Remember, their personality is your personality. There is no their personality, simply because you will only interpret their personality based on your belief. And the only way you know that what you're seeing in them is absolutely true is if your belief is of them as perfect love, innocence, and joy. Do you understand? Now your inner being agrees with you, and how you perceive them, how you interpret them based on love. God is love, Jesus said. You see? If you make your beliefs of love and joy and flow and strength and beauty, and you start interpreting everything in that way, now your inner being is going to agree with you. Now things are going to start flowing in your life, you see? And now you're seeing it, so to speak, as true. But if you're getting negative emotion back, your inner being is not agreeing with the belief that you have about that specific person or situation or circumstance. Don't blame them. Please, for your own sake. Otherwise, the circle just keeps on going. That's the idea of karma. It just keeps on going and going and going. Recognize that your interpretation of them is serving a belief you do not want, a belief that's not serving you. Don't project. Stop and say, I don't agree. You watch this video and you say, I don't agree with you, Dave. There's a belief. Don't blame me. Does that make sense? That's what keeps you stuck in your prison. Stop and say, what is it about this information that I'm not agreeing with? And where is the belief? I'm interpreting him in such a way that I will always reinforce back the belief that I have going in. Man, this is what makes the world not magic. Can you see? It's not magic. We believe it's magic. It's like, you say that, I don't agree with it, and I don't know why, and this is here. No, guys, it's connected. And the more you get into connection, the more fun it gets. It gets so fun. It's like someone in Tai Chi, they come at me, they grab me, and I get to decide, how can I see this? How can I flow with them instead of just pushing them away? That's no fun. I'll just hit them. What's the fun in that? There's no information coming in. I relax into their body. I feel their joints. I feel the energy. I tap into their energy. That's fun. And the more you understand that, the more you push people away. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Where's the fun in that? Source is never going to do that. And it's going to keep on coming in and get bigger and bigger. Because guess what? That belief that's causing you interpret things over and over and over again, thereby attracting and thereby experiencing belief, interpretation, attraction, experience, you see, is going to keep on coming in. Take a second, have fun with it. Ooh, that doesn't feel good. Why am I afraid there? Why am I worried there? What's my belief? Why am I interpreting in such a way that brings back fear to me? Why am I interpreting this person and what they're saying that brings back hate or anger? Where's the belief? Look deeper. Find the belief. Let it go. Ask yourself, what do I need to believe here to make me feel the way I feel? And boy, it will shine, I assure you. And now, as you change that belief, you find it first and then change it to that of innocence, love, or joy, or flow. Now you're going to be matching your inner being. You're going to see the world very differently. What a fun journey that will be of being the center of your life by letting go of what you no longer need or what you no longer serves you. I hope this helps, guys. Thank you. I have much love for every single one of you. Thanks for joining me here. And as always, you're able to receive what you receive, but I recommend find that belief. If you like the video, hit the like button. Otherwise, please subscribe and keep the comments coming. And I'll see you next time. My unconditional love and appreciation.